you could argue that still every statement is subjective. And again, we're not saying that, the statements are subjective, not the mechanism that you're watching on the screen. That is objective. You don't have to believe it. If you do believe it or don't believe it, that's subjective. But the mechanism itself, that's not subjective. Okay, so everything is not subjective. And so this person ends up, I think it's a woman, so these days you don't know, we have not only diversity, but we have people who put fake names, so we don't know. But came up with a feminine name, so I'll call her a her. Physics is done by a human, and a human is subjective. No, physics is not done by humans. And science is not subjective at all. That's the point. The point of this channel is that science is not subjective. It's objective. The mechanisms are going to be objective. You're going to look at the mechanism and you're going to understand it. That's it. There's no subjectivity up to that point. The subjectivity starts when you say, I believe. I like this theory. I choose this. That's when it becomes subjective. When you choose. Everybody's got subjectivity. Everybody's got a religion. Everybody's got an opinion. But the mechanism itself is objective. And for that, we need to get to the word objective. So here we have Mrs. Ayn Rand. And what does she say about objectivism? Because she says, the name I have chosen for my philosophy is Subjectivism. My philosophy is, in essence, is the concept of man as a heroic being. That's objective. Objectivism. With his own happiness. Happiness is objective. I can only relate to one of my professors at the university, who the first day, this was in economics, and he said, here we're going to define happiness as money. If you have money, you are happy. So that's how he defined happiness. And here, good old Ayn Rand says, happiness. Well, if you have money, then you're happy, I guess, according to that professor, right? As the moral purpose of his life. Moral purpose? Moral is, again, subjective. With productive achievement as his noblest activity. That's her opinion. That is, she thinks that productive has something to do with objectivism. So the guy who's not productive, he's subjective, I guess. I don't know. And reason as his only absolute. And I put the comment there. In other words, my philosophy is my way of thinking. That's all Ayn Rand said. She said, this is my way of thinking. And therefore, maybe she should call it subjectivism. Right, instead of objectivism. Because, again, there is no such thing as philosophy for living. These are recommendations, and recommendations have nothing to do with science, and they have, therefore, nothing to do with philosophy, if philosophy is a science, if we're going to make some use of philosophy. Otherwise, what's the purpose of philosophy? Do we say everybody's got a philosophy, everybody's got a way of thinking? We can't use that notion, that broad notion, that undefined or vague notion of philosophy. We have to define the word philosophy if we're going to have a debate or discussion on what philosophy is.